So last night, Alex Pereira, this guy right here, became one of the GOATs. He fought Makalaev again and destroyed him. Now I'm gonna break down exactly why he was able to knock out Makalaev. All right. But before I begin, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video for me, because we gotta talk about this. This was truly a masterclass. This was a masterclass. It really was. All right. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. Okay, now let's talk about exactly how did Makalaev. All right. Okay, everybody, how you doing? So now, I want to talk about exactly how Alex Pereira was able to defeat Ankalaev, right? Remember, in the first fight, Ankalaev is a wrestler, right? So in the first fight, Ankalaev was trying to back him down, and it was hard for Alex to get going, because when you're fighting a striker, especially a kicker, you want to jam him, you want to keep him on the back foot, especially if you're a wrestler. But this fight, this time around, Alex Pereira pushed the pace. I'm gonna tell you, when I used to fight, I'm mostly a grappler. When a striker comes towards you like that, sometimes it makes you think a little bit. All right? So this time, Alex Pereira said, no. So Alex Pereira pressured him. What's up, Julie? Right? And you could tell Ankalaev was a little uncomfortable. And then Ankalaev didn't expect that. So that was a wonderful game plan by Alex Pereira and his team. And then as a grappler, Ankalaev was kind of like hesitating. And Alex Pereira throws an overhand right. And when I say flush in the jaw, he threw overhand right and dazed Ankalaev. And that's when Ankalaev went for the takedown. But because he was already dazed from that punch, it wasn't a good takedown. And Pereira came down. Back in the days, 12 elbows, that's like up and down, 12 to 6 was not allowed. It's allowed now. And Alex Pereira just, abused him with the elbows, the body shots, the head. The fight was over in like a minute. And the way Alex Pereira did it was beautiful. Beautiful, you know? I think also Alex Pereira may have dislocated his toe. But the point is, in the first fight, Ankalaev was pressuring Alex, and Alex kept going back. And Alex said in the last fight, he wasn't himself. It is what it is, right? You have good days and bad days. But this fight, Alex pushed the action. And let me tell you, that's a wonderful game plan, right? Because when you're fighting a deadly striker like that, you don't want him getting comfortable. And Kalaev was trying to get and Kalaev thought that he's gonna pressure Alex again. No, 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 no. When I used to fight, I'm mostly a grappler, right? My last fight is, actually my last fight, I fought a striker. So, but he was pushing the action with me, you know. I wanted him to rush me quickly, but he was calmly coming towards me. It kind of threw me off a little bit. So I understand why Ankalaev got confused, because Alex Pereira was just in his face, kicking, punching, and the overhand right came, boom. Let me tell you something. That right hand Alex hit, that was amazing. Alex Pereira came out there, boom, knocked down and dazed Ankalaev. Ankalaev went for the takedown, and then Alex Pereira came down with the elbows. Deadly elbows to the body, to the head. Back in the days, elbows that was 12-6 was banned. Now it's not banned anymore. So these elbows can come down like this, man. Oh my gosh. Now, do you think Alex Pereira is one of the GOATs now? Think about it. Think about what this guy came from the Muay Thai world, kickboxing world, came to the UFC, became champion 3 times. He became champion 3 times. Come on. In around 4 years in the UFC. That is amazing. Do you think he should fight at heavyweight and then challenge Tom Aspinall if he beats Gaines? Gone? You know what I mean? Because at this point, Alex Pereira was the middleweight champion. Now, light heavyweight champion again. Should he go up and fight the heavyweight champion if it's Tom Aspinall or whoever? Because this guy is a deadly striker. Deadly. And if you look at him, his hands are down. He's just so tall and big. He's like 6'4", got big hands. He's not a big dude per se. I mean, he's big, but not like a muscular dude. But he got so much power and technique. I don't know who's going to stop him at the light heavyweight. Like, who's at the light heavyweight division? Who's left to stop him now? Who? You know what I mean? So he might go up to heavyweight, y'all. How do you think he'll do at heavyweight? Man, again, if you watch how he fights, right? He fights like this, He's tall, fights like this, head back a little bit. Not like this, like this. So you think you could hit him. But I think that's an illusion. Hey, y'all, please, y'all, smash that like button. Smash that like button, y'all. Yeah, so he fights like this, right? So when you teach somebody how to do boxing or Muay Thai or kickboxing, we don't teach them this. We teach them, this. But he's such a specialist in his field that he can get away with this, right? I don't recommend, me personally, if you're going to be a boxer, Muay Thai, kickboxer, whatever, I don't recommend standing like this. Always stand like this. But Alex can do that. Alex is a top tier, one of the best strikers in the world, probably ever. You don't understand. This guy came from the Muay Thai world, came from the kickboxing world, came to the UFC and just did havoc across 2 divisions. Come on. I need a coffee break. This is crazy. The way he beat Ankalaev and how fast he did it was amazing to me. Amazing. Because Ankalaev is a scary dude. Ankalaev got some power and takedown. He's a great wrestler. And Alex Pereira was in his face. Hands like this. And one thing about Alex Pereira, he has bad intentions, man. When he punches you and kicks you, he has bad intentions, man. Bad intentions. And Ankalaev was kind of like backing up, because Ankalaev wanted to take him down. But as a takedown artist, because when I fought, I was a grappler. So as a grappler, you want to set up your shots, because when you're fighting a deadly striker like that, you can get kneed or uppercut if you shoot too early or too soon or offbeat. So Ankalaev was trying to get a good little judgment on Alex. But Alex said, no, Alex was in his face. One thing about when I used to fight, when I used to spar, I'm not gonna lie, when somebody is in your face the whole time, It's a little uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little uncomfortable, right? I'll be sparring guys in the gym sometimes, and they're just in my face, in my face. I'm hitting them. It's like, it's like they keep coming. That could be a little intimidating. So I think Ankalaev did not expect that, you know? Ankalaev did not expect Alex to just come in and just start swinging like that, you know? And my thing is, who's gonna stop Alex Pereira now at the light heavyweight division? At the light heavyweight division, who's gonna stop him? Now, I saw on the internet, I saw online that John Jones said something about Alex, whatever. So I don't know. I think John Jones is interested in fighting Alex. I don't know what's going on. John Jones needs to just relax, okay? This is Alex's time. Alex came from the chat. Alex came from the Muay Thai world, the kickboxing world. He came to the UFC. He has a, unorthodox stance. You know, he's 6'4" ish. He stands tall, head back, head like this. All right. This is not the way to when you're fighting in the cage or whatever, a boxing ring, you don't stand like this. You stand like this. But Alex Pereira is such an expert, a specialist in his field. He could do that. Some guys, like Michael Venom Page has his hands down. Man, this is what a night, y'all, what a night. At the end of the day, man, I just want to say congrats to Alex Pereira again for being the champion again. I mean, listen, the way he broke him down, he came out like this, boom, 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 throw a kick, boom, throw a kick, and the overhand right did it. Now, one thing about overhand rights is that you don't see it coming. It kind of messes with your judgment a little bit. Alex came to overhand right, boom. You can tell it dazed Ankalaev, and Ankalaev went, was dazed and went for a sloppy takedown. Ankalaev, after he got hit, he wobbled and went for a takedown, but it wasn't his normal takedown attempt because he was waddled. And Alex Pereira just pounced on him, came out, and then those elbows were nasty elbows. Hey, chat, believe it or not, in my third fight, I was in a similar position. The guy was on top of me, throwing down elbows, boom, boom, boom. I didn't feel him, but it is what it is. But the point I'm saying is, man, Alex Pereira came through. Who's gonna stop this guy? Who's gonna stop him? That's a real question. Who's gonna stop this guy right here? Because this guy right here, man, that is one scary dude. One scary dude. Again, the way the fight started, right? Alex Pereira has that stare, right? And then once the fight started, just immediately, once the fight started, Alex Pereira immediately took the center of the ring and started pressuring Ankalaev. That right there messes with your mind. Ankalaev didn't expect that. Ankalaev didn't expect Alex to be in his face the whole time. I'm telling you, as a fighter, it could throw you off. As a fighter, if somebody is in your face constantly, I'm not gonna lie, it can get you a little intimidated. It get you, especially if you're a grappler, it can get you kind of intimidated a little bit. He was coming in like this, boom, boom, boom. Man, I'm telling you, Alex Pereira, his strikes are boom. The overhand right got him, and Alex Pereira timed that right hand perfectly. Do some kicks, a little body shots, and boom, overhand right. Let me tell you, man, that overhand right, I felt it. That's how bad it was. Man. So, and his trainer is Glover Teixeira. Glover Teixeira is a former UFC light heavyweight champion, also amazing on the ground, amazing in boxing. So, what I'm saying is that Alex has very good training, very good. Alex has a very good team, y'all. This guy is just amazing to watch. Alex is amazing to watch, man. And he looks like a nice guy, but he's a stone cold killer in the cage. He has bad intentions. When he comes in the cage, he's trying to break people, man. He's trying to break people. They call him the boogeyman, I think. He comes in like this, boom, 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 boom. He stands tall, leans back a little bit. Not this, but he does this. So his hands are like this. So you think you can hit him, but that's an illusion. Again, his hands are like this. You think you can hit him. That's an illusion, right? He wants you to try to hit him so you can come counter, boom, or a knee, boom. This is a different type of striker. Chat, listen up. This is a different type of striker right here. All right? He comes into the cage with bad intentions. If you fight him, prepare to get hurt. Alex is gonna hurt you if you step in the cage with him. I'm sure he's a nice guy outside the cage, but inside the cage, he's here to hurt you. Point blank. He ain't there to make friends. He ain't there to drink coffee with you. He's there to hurt you in the cage. And that's what a fighter is about. Outside the cage, I'm sure he's a nice guy. Outside the cage, I'm sure he's nice. I'm sure he's chill. I'm sure he's all that. But this guy right here, if I was fighting him, you know, of course my weight class, man, I'm not scared of no one. But man, it'd be tough trying to fight somebody like him. I'm a grappler. I can strike too, but I'm mostly a grappler. And the problem with fighting somebody like him, he's long. He's long, and he got knees. Bah, bah. He got, boom, that long jab, and he got lunchbox for hands. This guy is truly amazing. You know? And again, as soon as the fight started, he came like this. As soon as the fight started, he rushed to the center of the octagon. And Kaliv didn't expect that, chat. And Kaliv was like confused. Heck, I was confused. I'm sure y'all confused. Because remember, in the first fight, Kaliv pushed the action. In the first fight, Kaliv controlled the whole fight. Most of the fight. And won by decision. You know? In this fight, Alex learned from it. His team learned from the last fight. And said, no. You know? What's up, AI? Al? You know? They learned from the first fight. And that's the problem. That's the problem, you know what I mean? It's like he came in and boom. Knocked him out. TKO. You know? But my thing is, you know, we do stuff like that. It really confused Kaliv, y'all. It really did. You know, it confused him. He didn't know what to do. And Kaliv shot in, tried to go for a takedown, but he was already dazed. He didn't know where he was. And Alex just came down. Boom, boom, boom. Nasty elbows, chat. Nasty elbows. You know? So who's next? Porzingis? Porzingis is next to fight him? I don't know. Do you think Alex should go fight in the heavyweight division? Do you think Alex and Tom Aspinall should fight if Tom Aspinall beats Soal Gang? Because this guy at this weight class, just like the middleweight division, is pretty much unstoppable. He came from the Muay Thai world and caused havoc in the MMA world. That's not common. Guys that come from the Muay Thai world don't do this well in the UFC. Alex had to learn grappling on the fly, you know? Alex had to learn how to grapple quickly because in the UFC, there's a lot of grapplers. So hats off to Alex for being able to learn so quickly how to grapple. And by grappling, I mean, I've always said this. The most dangerous MMA fighter is somebody that can punch and strike, but has great takedown defense. I've always said that. The perfect MMA fighter, in my opinion, is somebody that can punch, strike, kick, but has great defense. That means that no one can take you down, and you can just light them up on the feet. That's a scary fighter right there. That type of fighter is scary. Somebody that can punch, elbow kick, but also can stop your takedowns. Oh my gosh. How do you beat somebody like that? How do you beat somebody like that? You know? Because you can do whatever you want, but somebody like him that has great takedown defense and the elbows, boom, boom, jabs and knees, come on. This guy is one of the GOATs. I don't care what nobody says. This guy is one of the GOATs, y'all. all right? Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You know, and my thing is, he might go fight John Jones in the heavyweight division. Do you think he should fight John Jones? Do you think he should fight Tom Aspinall or whoever wins out of Tom and Cyril? My point is, do you think he should move up to heavyweight? Now, heavyweight division, them boys are big now. Them boys are big up there. I mean, come on. You know, not saying he can't do well up there. I'm pretty sure he could do very well in the heavyweight division. Alex is not a small guy, chat. Alex is about 6'5". You know, not massive by any means, but not small either. So I think he could do well in the heavyweight division. But Tom Aspinall is a different beast, though. Tom at heavyweight is a different beast. Cause Tom has grappling also. See, that's the thing. Tom Aspinall can grapple. Can grapple. Alex Pereira is very good at stopping takedowns. But against a heavyweight that can punch also, I don't know. That would be a good fight. That would be an awesome fight. Him versus Tom Aspinall at heavyweight division. Who do you got? Let me know. Because he's gonna be, when it's all said and done, he might be the best fighter ever in the UFC. I'm not saying he is yet, but when it's all said and done, Alex Pereira might end up being the best fighter the UFC ever had. I know it's big to say that. I know it's like, oh, how can I say that? Georges St. Pierre was awesome. Anderson Silva. Of course, this guy's awesome. But remember, just because you're the GOAT of something doesn't mean that somebody else can come and grab that title. This guy, Alex Pereira, is a deadly guy in the cage. Nice guy outside the cage, but in the cage, he's focused. If he fights Tom Aspinall in the heavyweight division, you know what? I think he'll beat Tom Aspinall. Because he's long, he got kicks. Now, Tom Aspinall is just a heavy guy with power. But I think Alex Pereira in the heavyweight division will be stronger because he's not losing weight. I think he's taller than Tom Aspinall. And I think he'll beat Tom Aspinall. You know? But last night, Alex Pereira put on a clinic. What a short clinic. And in about a minute, he knocked out Magallav Ankalaev. Man, he's a 3-time world champion in the UFC. 3 times. Listen to what I'm saying, chat. This guy is a 3-time UFC champion. He came from the Muay Thai world. That is just amazing, man. That's just amazing. That's amazing. And Ankalaev, man, the way he fights like a scary dude. He fights tall, hands like this, boom, 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 hands like this. He got deadly knees, elbows, and his hands are as big as a lunchbox. Alex's hands are as big as a lunchbox, chat. You know what I mean? From what I've been told. He got huge hands, and his left hand is his power hand. But in this fight, the right hand knocked him out. Chat, it's like, come on. My thing is, he's Brazilian. And, this guy learned how to fight in Brazil, the Muay Thai. Boom, boom. Brazil is known for 2 things, Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And back in the days, some of them trained Jiu-Jitsu, some of them trained Muay Thai. This guy trained Muay Thai, and he comes in like this, tall, boom. And he got big lunchbox hands. Big lunchbox hands, right? I heard that his hands are huge. That's why he gets all these knockouts. Boom, 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 boom. Let me tell you, this guy, man, you have to clap it up for him. Clap it up for Alex Pereira. He came a long way, man. And what a story, too. Because I heard that he used to be in the bar a lot. Before the UFC, after his Muay Thai career, he used to be depressed a little bit. He was in the bar drinking his life away. And then Izzy called him out. And then he came out of retirement and beat Izzy. I mean, this guy's story is amazing, chat. It's amazing. And people like him, we just got to clap it up. Because Alex Pereira, last night, what he did to Magallav Ankalaev was no joke. Came in like this, boom, boom, boom. Pressure, 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 pressure. Do some kicks and overhand right. Boom. Let me tell you something about it, chat. The overhand right was so quick and so powerful. I felt it. I felt the hit, you know? Because once it hit Ankalaev was dazed. And when you're a fighter, right, and you get dazed, you go back to your default move, right? Ankalaev is a wrestler, so he went in to wrestle. But it wasn't a good shot because he was dazed. So Alex Pereira easily stopped it and came from the half guard, I think, just nasty elbows, you know? Referee did a good job letting the fight go on. But after a while, you could tell Ankalaev was not fighting back. After a while, you could tell Ankalaev was just looking for a way out, right? So now, my question is, no one has answered this question yet. In the light heavyweight division, who can stop this guy? I'll wait. In the light heavyweight division right now, who can stop Alex Pereira? I'll wait. Exactly. That's my point. I don't see nobody at this point in the light heavyweight division that could beat him. I can't see it right now, chat. I can't see it right now because he's on a mission. Alex Pereira is on a mission to destroy anybody that throw at him. The fight. What's up, King? What's up? You think so, David? It is 1-on-1. You're right. It is 1-on-1. Now, they might have a trilogy. I don't know. Maybe they do a trilogy. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I think Ankalaev was kind of shocked that Alex was in his face. You said David could beat him or stop him? I mean, of course, anything's possible, but I think at this point, it's going to be hard to beat this guy. You know? In December, well, it's going to be hard to beat him. It's going to be hard to beat this guy because he fights tall. He's 6'4". He fights tall. His hands are like this. So you think you could hit him, but it's an illusion because he's a great counter, long jab, and he has takedown defense. You know, he has takedown defense. Glover Teixeira is his coach. Glover was a great jiu-jitsu guy and a world champion also. So he has takedown defense, right? Is he a wrestler? No, of course not. He's a striker. But fighting strikers like this, who has bad intentions to hurt you, it is no joke, chat. It is no joke. Well, I mean, I mean, he is up there, David. Do the trilogy in December. If it was him, move up to heavyweight and fight John Jones for. Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad idea, King. Maybe do a trilogy in December, right? And if he beats Ankalaev again, and then go fight John Jones and get paid. That's not a bad idea. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, David, I see what you're saying, Rafaz. That's what you're saying about David. I mean, you know, Alex is a Muay Thai guy, and, you know, boxers definitely know how to punch. So, if it's an MMA match between them both, I got Alex for sure. If it's a boxing match, you know, it's different. That's why he is called the Mexican monster. Yo, yeah, I hear you. Again, if it's a pure boxing match, I can see that. If it's an MMA match, I got Alex, man, because of the kicks and the knees and the elbows. You know, one thing about boxers, boxers can definitely punch and take a punch. You know, but boxers are so much specialists in the field that it's hard for them to learn other martial arts, techniques. You know. I think Terrence Crawford could do. I think Terrence Crawford could do MMA. Terrence Crawford also wrestles, so I think Crawford can go into the UFC and actually win some fights and become champion. Because Crawford can wrestle. You know, most boxers can't wrestle, but Crawford can. You think so too, right? Yeah. I've always said that because I think Crawford can go into the featherweight division. Yeah, featherweight division, and beat all. I mean, I'm not gonna say beat all those guys, but he'll definitely beat some guys in the UFC in the featherweight division. I can see that because, again, I've said it before. You agree, right, Rafiez? I said it before. The best, in my opinion, the best MMA fighter is somebody that can box and has takedown defense and can wrestle. So in the UFC, if you try to take him down, Crawford, he can wrestle with you and then stand you back up and then boom, boom, boom with his hand speed, man. Kicks are no jokes. You're right. Good point too. Now kicks are definitely no jokes. He has to get used to the kicks. That's for sure. Because kicks come at different angles, man. Low, middle, high. So yes, you're right about that. Crawford has, Crawford is a smart guy. Great wrestler. Smart guy. Great wrestler. Great hands, obviously, and he knows just what to do. So I think he'll do very well in UFC. I think Crawford will go in the UFC and become champion. I really think so. Because remember, in the women's division at the PFL, Clarissa Shields did MMA and actually did kind of well. Clarissa Shields did MMA for a while and did kind of well. It has no grappling background. Crawford has a grappling background. So he could come in and destroy guys. Can you imagine fighting Crawford and you can't take him down in MMA? Oh boy. Can you imagine? That would be one scary thing to do, man. That'd be one thing, so yes. So I think Crawford would do well. I'm trying to think who else. Maybe Tank might do well in MMA. I'm not sure. See, Marshall did. Savannah? I ain't know that. How did that go? How did Savannah go? Because I'm gonna tell you something. Again, boxers can punch for sure, but pure boxers have zero groundwork. They have zero groundwork, and as a grappler myself, it takes years to learn how to grapple. It takes years, chat. To be comfortable on the ground, to be in a cage fight, it takes years to be that comfortable, all right? So even though a boxer can try MMA, he or she can't learn grappling in a year. You just can't. And be confident that is, Because even if a boxer learns some takedown defense here and there, chain wrestlers, when I fought, I go for the takedown and I chain wrestle. I go for a double leg and a single leg. Like, I'm always going. So boxers, some of them may be training on how to stop one takedown or two. But what happens when you put like another move on them? That's the problem. She was the same as Shields. Okay. But you know what? I give them credit though. Shields and Savannah, I give them credit because to go into the MMA world, if you're a boxer, I give you credit because we all see what happened in the past when boxers try to do that. They get destroyed quickly. Remember James Toney? If you go way back in UFC, James Toney, right, was a awesome boxer. He fought Randy Couture in the UFC, and Randy for the ankle pick, took him down, and Randy Couture barely had the choke in. He's tapping already. So boxers, most of them don't want to do MMA because boxers are also cocky. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but boxers are also cocky. And boxers don't want to lose anything. And the problem is that they think that they could just go, in a street fight, you don't just punch. You could kick, you could wrestle, everything in a street fight. So boxers, again, they are experts in what they do, but MMA is a different sport. MMA is a different sport. when I first started doing MMA years ago, right? You know, training hard. My coach took me to a boxing gym, and I did a sparring match with a boxer in MMA, a sparring MMA. You know what I mean? And I was, even though that boxer was bigger than me and much more experienced than me in fighting, whatever, I easily took him down because he didn't know any groundwork. You know, he didn't know any groundwork. He was bigger than me. He was more skilled than me, obviously, in boxing, but it was an MMA sparring match. And I took him down easily, and once on the ground, he had no idea what to do. Don't listen to the flu. Do you even research none of the advice you taken? I don't know what that means, Peyton. I don't know what that means, but I don't know what that means, but what I'm saying is that before you talk, Peyton, you should actually do your own research, all right? Because I'm not just talking out of my ass. I've been in the cage many times, boxing ring many times, grappling tournaments many times, all right? I trained UFC fighters, PFL fighters. I trained Anderson Silva, Big Nog, Baboon, Luis Palomino, Jason Jackson. The list goes on and on, all right? I tried it for the UFC season 5. So yeah, buddy. But anyway, what I'm saying is that boxing and MMA are two different sports. It's a sport, you know what I mean? If an MMA guy goes, you know, do boxing, look at Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou, you know, he fought. I mean, he got knocked out by, you know. I mean, give Francis Ngannou some credit because he went into boxing. All right, he did well for his first 4 fight, but give me your head. What you said now? Yeah. So. Read your head. What's up? Hey y'all, chat. It's chat. We got a hater in the audience now. Can't even read in your head. You gotta read the outburst. You just don't throw what that means. Yeah, man. Whatever, man. Let me know how many cage fights you had. All right? Okay, cool. Let me know. Hey, Peyton. How many cage fights have you had? How many Muay Thai fights have you had? I'll wait. How many grappling tournaments you did? I'll wait. Anyway, man, trolls, boy. People still troll at this age. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You know what I mean? People still troll at, this age. Amazing, boy. But when I talk from you know what I'm saying? I talk from experience. I'm not saying I'm all this, all that. I talk from experience, you know what I mean? I've been in the cage, bro. I've been in the killers trying to knock me out. I've been in grappling tournaments. I fought Muay Thai guys. My first 2 Muay Thai fights was against somebody who had 80 fights and I had like 1 or 2. So I walked the walk, buddy. Trust me on that one. You know? And I fought in 3 weight divisions. 145, 55, and 170. I'll wait for you. Let me know your credentials. Let me know. I'll wait. You know? Haters everywhere, bro. Anyway, I got nothing to prove to y'all. I mean, not y'all, but Peyton. I got nothing to prove to you, man. You know? You don't know me. I don't know you, man. But I'm not here to brag, whatever. I'm just telling you my experience from what I saw fight last night. You know? You want to come in, you know? Look, man. You don't like the video? Just leave. You don't like the live? Just leave. Actually, believe it or not, in all my cage fights, I only got punched hard 1 time. Yeah, you know what I mean? But like I said, man, hey, Peyton, let me know your, how many fights you had again, cage fights, Muay Thai, and grappling? I'll wait. Let me guess. You in your mother's basement, right? Okay, yeah, good, yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, chat, it's always funny to me how grown men want to hate on another man. That is always funny to me. You're a grown ass man trying to hate another man. If you don't like the live, leave. If you don't like it, just leave. You know what I mean? It's crazy out here, but it's crazy, boy. Anyway, like I said, if, if for the person who says I got punched a lot, actually, believe it or not, in my Muay Thai fights and MMA fights, I probably got punched probably flush once or twice. Believe it or not. Yeah, believe it or not. Yeah. And I fought hard punches before. Got you again. But yeah, man. But anyway, for those of y'all who wants to listen, thank you. And for those of y'all who doesn't, thanks for the views also. Appreciate it. Thanks for the views, appreciate it. But yeah, like I was saying, last night, Alex came in. It was just awesome. Hard punches, but only 1 or 2 a day. Okay. Yeah. Hey, bro, why do I have to lie? I don't even know you. What do I have to lie for? You know what I mean? But this guy, hold on, let me show you something. See? Now I gotta brag now. Now I have to brag. Now I gotta show you pictures of me training with the big dogs. Now I gotta brag now. See, I don't like bragging, but now I gotta show you, the guys I trained with in the past. All right, man. There's always 1 or 2 haters. Now I gotta show y'all who I used to train with in the past. All right. Okay. Let's see. Look at this punch right here. Look at that. Whoo! He missed me, right? Yeah, that's me right there. Look at that. By the way, he missed me. That punch missed me, okay? Yeah, what do I have to lie for? That's me right there. Almost getting punched. All right? I got more for y'all. Oh, chat, don't worry. I don't like bragging, but sometimes I gotta show these gentlemen what a real fighter is. All right? So, this is me at a weigh-in. Weighing 145 pounds exactly at a weigh-in, all right? What do I have to lie for? All right? Okay, that's me at a weigh-in. See, you could tell, Peyton, that you was not here for the whole live, because if you was here from the beginning, I was talking about Alex Pereira and Kalaya fight, all right? All right, you came in when I was talking about, I don't know, but the whole live was actually about Alex Pereira, all right? I'm showing this video, I'm showing this picture because of you, because you calling me out as some fraud or some whatever. I'm just showing you that I was a real fighter, buddy. I was a real fighter. Not I wasn't like you on the couch in the basement, keyboard warrior. I was actually a real fighter, all right? So that's why I'm showing these pictures, all right? So it's not about bragging, but I did that for you, man. Feel special. You should feel special, man. You feel special. I did that for you. But anyway, I could go on and on. I could go on and on, y'all. You know what I mean? I'm out here doing my live, bothering nobody. You got some keyboard warriors coming in, saying that this and that, blah, blah, blah. I got punched in the, and when I tell them the facts, now I'm bragging. You come in here, disrespect me. Oh, by the way, this is me, Anderson Silva, okay? Me and Anderson Silva. This is me and Anderson Silva. Oh, I forgot. I'm lying, right? I'm lying. Got it. Me and Anderson Silva. All right? Yeah, okay. Just in case you can see. Ta-da! Yes. Oh, I'm a fake fighter, y'all. I'm a fake fighter. Oh my gosh, I'm fake. I'm so fake. Oh boy. I brag. This is all for Peyton, chat. Once in a while, I never do this, but once in a while, I feel good today. So, this is me doing some ground and pound on one of my opponents. Oh my gosh. I talk so much crap. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm a fake fighter. Bruh. Hey chat, sorry for this, but I never do this, but since Mr. Peyton want to come in and talk trash, don't know what he's talking about. So, I gotta show him right quick. Now, this is me. This is Big Nog Nogueira, Anderson Silva, and it's me in the middle, all right? It says Antonio Nogueira, Big Nog. If you know MMA, do you know what that is? That's Big Nog. That's me in the middle, and it's in silver. All right, all right. Oh, I forgot. I'm a fake fighter. Okay, I'm a fake fighter. Yeah. Now here comes the big doozy, y'all. The big doozy for Mr. Payton. All right, here comes the big doozy. Now this is me when I tried out. Where's it at? Where's it at? This is me right here. Look at that. Mr. Dana White. Huh? Who's this? Who's this? What's this? Who's that? Yeah, Mr. Payton. That's me at the UFC tryouts, okay? Season 5. All right? You see? That's Dana White. See? It's Dana White. Why would I make shit up, buddy? Grow up, man. Grow up, man. Don't hate, but you know what I mean? Don't hate. If you don't like what I'm saying, just move. But to hate and talk crap, and you don't know me, that's like, you know what I mean? It's stupid, but again, you say I'm bragging, right? That's Dana White, that's me. Yes, buddy, okay? So, I'm just saying, all right? I got nothing to prove. But I bled for the shit, man. I swear for the, thousands of hours of sparring, thousands of hours of grappling. Come on, man. Don't disrespect me like that. You know what I mean? I don't just talk to what, you know what I mean? You made me do this, buddy. You made me do this. You made me do this. Talking about, this is 2006, by the way, in Hollywood, Florida. UFC Season 5 tryouts. Yes, Dana White. Guess what, chat? I fought in front of Dana White, and guess what? I won my fight in front of him. Yes, at the tryouts, we had to fight in front of Dana White, right? I fought my opponent, and I won. So this is after my fight, all right? After my fight. Where did Payton go? Where did Payton go? That's what I thought, man. That's what I thought. Anyway, chat, as I was saying, chat, sorry I got off script a little bit because I was talking about Alex Pereira fight. But once in a while, you have some trolls come in, some trolls who live in the mother's basement, keyboard warriors, want to come in and talk crap. And usually I never respond to them. But today, I got time today. I got time today, all right? I mean, my thing is, one thing I don't know about human beings is that, but instead of hating, go train yourself. Go train, go do MMA, do Muay Thai, whatever, and then maybe you could talk to me. But if you're on the couch doing nothing, no martial arts, you're not on my level, man. You're just not. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not on Anderson Silva's level. I already know that already. Know your place in life, buddy. Know your place in life. All right. Anyway, chat. It's crazy, boy. At this age, how did Alex do it? Well, again, Alex Pereira. Let's go back to the picture of Alex. Enough bragging about myself. Okay. So yes, Alex Pereira, like I said, the way he did it, in my opinion, his Muay Thai stance is a little unorthodox because most fighters are, you know what I'm saying? Most fighters are like this. Alex Pereira is like this. So his face is always open for a hit. But I think Alex does this as an illusion. Because guys think you could hit him easy. But no, it's an illusion. Alex comes like this, boom, boom, boom. And Alex stands tall. The way Alex does it, Alex stands tall and then back like this, right? So because he's tall and leans back a little bit, it's hard to hit him. And he can easily counter. Nah, man. It's not rigged. It's not rigged, man. It's a real fight. Because if you watch his elbows came down kind of hard, bro. They came down kind of hard, you know? They came down kind of hard. Trust me on that one. Okay, Peyton, you can stay right there. Okay, no problem. But my thing is, anyone who knows me knows that I don't brag at all. I don't brag at all, man. You know what I mean? I know my place in life. I'm not on the same level as Anderson Silva. I know that already. You know what I mean? I just do what I do. You know, everyone should just do what they do. You know, and try to strive for the best. You know, I try to encourage people to do stuff. Right now, I'm retired. Right now, I'm a physician, y'all. Believe it or not. Right now, I am a physician. Yes, yes. And I try to help athletes with CTE and pain and everything. Anybody else? Yes, chat. Right now, I retired from fighting. I'm 52 years old. I am 52 years old. I just turned 52. I'm a physician now, and I try to help athletes, especially MMA fighters and boxers, with CTE and other conditions. So I'm trying to help fighters these days. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to help athletes, everybody. All right? I'm an acupuncture physician. I see patients every day. I see hundreds of patients a week. All right? I try to give back. I try to give back, you know what I mean? So that's why, because I used to fight, I know how it is to be in the cage. I know how it is to get, you know, to be sore, to have a, I broke my rib probably twice or 3 times doing the fight sometimes, you know? I know how it is to get injured. So I'm trying to give back. I'm a physician now, you know? So it's not about bragging. I saw the fight last night. The fight was awesome. I tried to break it down, all right? I tried to break it down. Am I on the same level as Alex Pereira in striking? Heck no. Heck no. I know my place. I know my place, you know what I mean? But my thing is, after I fought, and yes, when I said I barely got hit, I barely got hit. I'm not saying it because I'm whatever. I was a takedown guy. In fact, in all my grappling tournaments, I got over 30 of them, whatever, right? I got taken down only twice, meaning that I'm very elusive when I fight. That's why it's hard to hit me. Not because I'm some, you know, master technician, because I'm very quick for my, you know, I'm very quick. I fight at 145. I fought in 3 weight classes, but but featherweight is my normal weight class. But I got long arms for my weight class. So I got long arms. So it's hard for guys to deal with me at that weight class. You know? So yes, when I say I barely got hit, I barely got hit in my fights. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Not because I'm some, you know, technician, because I'm very good at, oh, by the way too, I also work with wild animals. So I got very, very quick reflexes. I used to work with alligators, crocodiles, venomous snakes, eagles, hawks. I work with animals since 1990, so I got very fast reflexes. That's all I was saying, buddy. That's all I was saying. Peyton, it's all love, Peyton. It's all love here, man. It's all love, man. You know what I mean? It's all love. I'm not here to brag or whatever. I'm a fan like y'all. I saw the fight last night. Alex did awesome. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of Alex. You know? I'm just saying that I train, you know, I live in Miami, Florida, and Miami got a lot of fighters down here. And I've trained with a lot of people, man. Jason Jackson, the list goes on and on. The list goes on and on. But he's just... Alex is just that good. Alex Pereira had the chance to be a GOAT. Alex had the chance to be the best fighter in the world, I think. Ever. I think Alex Pereira, when it's all said and done, might be the best fighter ever fought in the UFC. Because John Jones is the GOAT right now, right? You think? That's what I'm saying. Right now, who's the GOAT? Is it Georges St. Pierre or John Jones? Because I think Alex has a chance to be one of, you know, if he keeps winning, especially if he goes to heavyweight, if Alex goes to the heavyweight division and wins, you know, yes, right, great recognizes great. So John Jones and GSP are probably known as the GOATs right now, for sure, right? If Alex goes to heavyweight division and beats Tom Aspinall or Swagan, whoever's the champion at that time, if Alex beats him in heavyweight division, man, he is one scary dude. Khabib. Oh, I forgot about Khabib. Oh, I forgot about him. How can I forget about him? Man, look. Oh, that's a good point. Swagan, Khabib, Nurmagomedov. I forgot about him. Nah, that's a good point. Now, in my opinion, who I think is the GOAT, I'll have to say Khabib. I would say Khabib is the GOAT. He's my GOAT. You know? Yes, the GSP is also a GOAT. John Jones, I get it. John Jones is probably everyone's GOAT. But I think Khabib, no matter of, Alex, yeah, Alex is breaking. See, Khabib is undefeated. Khabib is undefeated. That's the thing. And he fought but Alex is breaking records. 3-time champion in the middleweight, twice in light heavyweight. If he goes to heavyweight, do you think he could beat Tom Aspinall or Sawagan? You said GSP is the GOAT? That's the thing, man. So it's safe to say GSP, John Jones, and Khabib is up there, right? How about Anderson Silva? How about Anderson Silva? Do you think he's also up there as the GOAT? Mighty Mouse. Oh, you know what? Oh, man. Oh, boy. Mighty Mouse. Oh, now you got me thinking now. Wow, I forgot about Mighty Mouse. I've always said this. I think Mighty Mouse, in my opinion, was the best skilled MMA guy of all time. Listen to me, chat. Mighty Mouse, to me, was the best skilled MMA fighter of all time. He did everything well. Boxing, Muay Thai, grappling, judo throws, rest, whatever. He did everything well. Yes, I know. You know what? As much as I love Khabib, and I do, you changed my mind. I gotta say probably Mighty Mouse is the GOAT. Because he does everything well. He strikes well. He grapples well. Takedown. Remember that fight? He did a jumping armbar submission. Remember years ago in the UFC? He did a jumping armbar in the air submission midair and submitted the guy. That's crazy. But yeah, he got traded to one. He got traded to one championship, and still did well over there. But yeah, but let me see. You said top 5 is GSP, John Jones, Mighty Mouse, Islam. Islam, you think? You think Islam is ready for that type of GOAT status? Such a well-rounded. But yeah, man, Mighty Mouse, I love watching him fight because he does everything. Mind you, at one championship, he had a fight, right? I forgot the guy he fought, some Muay Thai champion. The first round was Muay Thai, second round was MMA. So for the first round, he fought a Muay Thai guy, straight Muay Thai, and held his own. And then second round was MMA, and then he took him down and submitted him quickly. But Islam Makhachev, is he up there yet? If he beats JDM, then he's in the conversation, right? He's in the conversation of being one of the best. He's one of the best right now, don't get me wrong, But as far as one of the GOATs, if Islam beats JDM, then, because Jack, oh my gosh, that's a big welterweight. That's a big welterweight, and also has it's a bad intentions. No one has ever been as dominant as Khabib. Yeah. GSP was kind of dominant, also like that. But then since GSP got knocked out before. But yeah, Khabib. Believe it or not, hey Chad, believe it or not, when Khabib fought Conor McGregor, I give Conor credit, and I'm not a Conor fan. I give Conor credit because when Khabib shot him for the first time, Conor McGregor did a good job in defending the first takedown. He did a better job than most people. Eventually he got taken down, but that was the legendary fight. But Khabib was definitely more dominant champion. He's undefeated, for God's sake. Undefeated. Portland is a machine. Oh yeah. Great name too. Great nickname too. You're Portland. You know what I mean? What's up, Moab? Moab again won last night. Those short, stocky wrestlers are tough to fight, man. I'm telling you. You know, if you find somebody shorter than you and just like a tank that can wrestle, they give you problems, man. They give you problems because they're so small and compact. Even in grappling, even in jiu-jitsu tournaments, when I grapple somebody who's shorter and just stocky, it's hard to get a submission on those guys. So Moab is definitely on his way to being one of the GOATs. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, right now. That's it. Best bantamweight for sure, but two-headed. Umar gets it done. Oh, he has the last name for it though. You know, he has the last name for it. Oh, you love strikers? Yeah, I mean, if you love strikers, then Alex is the best striker right now in MMA, hands down. Alex right now is the best striker in MMA, hands down. Hands down. You know, despite you know what's funny was that when Anderson Silva was fighting, right? He was my favorite fighter to watch. I used to love watching Anderson Silva fight. You know, because this guy, remember when Anderson Silva fought Griffin? He actually, he played with him. Forrest Griffin, when Anderson Silva fought Forrest Griffin, he played with him, like just playing around. That was truly amazing. That was truly amazing. Yes. So Spider again, top 10, right? Top 10 of all time is hold on. What you say? Mighty Mouse is expected. Oh yes, Khabib could have been in the good, but he only fought 13 fights in his season. Amazing provider, but not. Yeah, Alex is on the way. I definitely agree with you. Mighty Mouse, no matter who the fighter is, no matter where they're from, every fighter respects Mighty Mouse. Every fighter respects Mighty Mouse. That's for sure. Nice guy. I never met, I don't know him personally, but looks like a nice guy. A family man. But when he fought in the cage or in the ring, this guy, super technical. Super technical. Again, in my opinion, Mighty Mouse is the best skilled MMA fighter of all time. Khabib took titles from Reginald Ikenta. I saw that fight too. That was a crazy fight. Short notice fight too. That was a short notice fight. But yeah, man, Mighty Mouse is, to me, is the best skilled MMA fighter ever. He is the best skilled MMA fighter to ever fight. Period. He did everything well, chat. He kicks well. He punches well. He grapples well. Takedown well. Judo throw. Well, he did a flying on-ball submission in an MMA fight to win. That is crazy. That is crazy, man. So, as great as Mighty Mouse is, I think he's still underrated. I think Mighty Mouse is still underrated, chat. The Spider has. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The Spider is. Back in the days, man, the Spider made people look silly. Again, when he fought Forrest Griffin, lost and cried. UFC got rid of Mighty Mouse because he wasn't selling as much, but even can't deny the greatness. Yeah, you're right. At the end of the day, UFC is a business, and I guess Mighty Mouse wasn't selling that much. I guess, but real fighters, real fans like us know how good, how exciting he is. We know how exciting Mighty Mouse was, but I guess casual fans wasn't drawn to him yet. Oh, Fedor. Oh my gosh, Emelianenko, man. You know what? I'm glad you brought him up because I'm 52 years old, so I was around with Pride around. Fedor Emelianenko, he was unstoppable at one point. He was unstoppable as a heavyweight. Trust me, chat. Fedor Emelianenko, back in the days in Pride FC, he was unstoppable. When I tell you that, oh my gosh. You know what? Now I gotta rethink now. Fedor is probably the best heavyweight of all time. You think? Do you think Fedor is the best heavyweight GOAT of all time? Apparently, you mentioned John Jones, Forrest, and heavyweight. You could be worse than Anderson. Yeah. So, yes, you agree with me, right, Josh? Fedor has to be the heavyweight GOAT. I don't care what nobody says. Because in Pride FC, what he did over there in Pride, he was unstoppable. You know? Prime Fedor and Prime Francis. Oh my gosh. Prime Fedor and Prime Francis. Who you got? I got a question, chat. Again, like you said, if you get Prime Fedor and Prime Francis Ngannou, who's winning that fight? To be honest, I don't know. He says, oh God. I don't know, chat. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Because Fedor is smarter than Francis. Fedor wasn't a big heavyweight, like 6'1", 6'2", maybe. He was just quick for a heavyweight, quick. Fedor, Jones, Spider, in their prime. Oh yeah. Fedor. Yeah, man. Fedor was small heavyweight, but he was quick though. So I think he'll be quicker than Francis. But Francis can knock anybody out. That's the problem. But he was a dog. Oh my gosh. You know? He was definitely a dog. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that was just mind-boggling, man. Yeah, Prime Fedor versus Prime Francis. I don't know, man. I don't know. That'll be something else. The fight, it probably go to distance, to be honest. It probably go to distance. If it's Prime Fedor and Prime Francis, nah. Those guys hit too hard. It won't go to distance. Time machine would be nice. Oh my gosh. Man, can you imagine going to a time machine and put fighters against each other? How about, imagine Prime John Jones and Prime Anderson Silva. You know? Yes, Jones has the wrestling, but that would be an interesting fight, right? Prime John Jones versus Prime Anderson Silva. You know? We could make all these fights happen, right? With a time machine. You know? That's the thing, man. So yeah. So it's fun to reminisce, you know. Pride FC back in the days, man, Prime Championship was at one point probably better than the UFC. When Pride was at its top, Pride FC, at one point Pride had the better fighters than the UFC. You know? Does Francis still fight? Yes and no. He's at the PFL right now, and he's, yes, he still fights, but remember, his last fight, he got knocked out cold. Not that cold. Yeah, he fought twice in boxing. He did well the first time against the Gypsy King, but then he fought. You see, UFC. Francis Ngannou had wanted a lot in the contract, and UFC wasn't. UFC is stubborn, man. UFC, I think, did a bad job with Francis. Alex is really the only man. Yeah, the only star right now, for sure. Because Islam is kind of a star, but Alex is a star. Alex Pereira right now is the man. No doubt. See. You know what? Patty surprised me. I'm not gonna lie. I think Topuria would beat Patty, but Patty surprised me because I thought Patty wasn't that good. But his last few fights proved me wrong. You know, his striking still sucks, but you know, Patty's tough and Patty can grapple. So, but I think Ilya Pereira would beat him. Honestly, he's smaller. Ilya's smaller, but I think Ilya's just too crisp. But yeah, so again, I thought Patty wasn't that good, but Patty's good, man. Patty's good. He's unorthodox. He has weird strikes from all angles, but he can grapple and he's tough. You know, nobody beats Ilya at this point. To be honest, at this point, I can't see nobody beating Ilya. I really can't. This guy is good, man. This guy is good. This guy is good, man. Jeez. And for a small guy, he packs power, man. I say small guy meaning, you know, he packs power for, you know, it's crazy how good this guy is. But I think he wants to fight Crawford in boxing, I think. See, I don't know about that, though. Doesn't Ilya want to fight, you know, in boxing? You know, Crawford, I think. Now, that again, boxing is a different sport. As good as Ilya is, you know, if you go box somebody like Crawford, I mean, Crawford would tear him apart, you know, because it's boxing. You know, Islam. I love Islam Makhachev. I love him. He comes in, does his job, and leave. You know, is Islam a star? He's a star. He's a star, but not a superstar. That makes sense. He's a star, but not a superstar. Not yet. Not yet. Khabib was a superstar. You know, man, I would have loved to go train in Dagestan with these boys, man. That would have been an awesome training session. Oh my gosh. I would have learned so much from those guys, man. You don't like boxing crossovers? But UFC pay scale sucks. So yeah. It's kind of sad too that UFC top fighters want to go boxing because there's money in boxing. It is sad. Look, I get it. You know, UFC is a business. I get it. UFC is a business and wanna, you know, I get it, but you know, the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, whatever, players get about 50% of the revenue. UFC fighters only get 80% of the revenue. You know, I think fighters should get at least 40% of the revenue. You know, NBA, NFL, MLB, the players get 50% of the revenue. UFC only gets about 80-90%. Right? So fighter pay should go up, man. It just should. UFC just signed a $7 billion contract with Paramount, I think. With Paramount. UFC just signed a $7 billion contract with Paramount. $7.7 billion. Pay the fighters, man. Pay the fighters more money. I think because of this contract, I think every fighter should get double their pay. Automatically. You know? Dana White should double every fighter's pay, you know, in my opinion. No more pay-per-view, remember. No more pay-per-view, you know, for the most part. So now, just double everyone's pay, you know. Josh McCassa, Khabib is retired now, but it's just, if I Conor, yeah. That fight with Conor, I remember I was in a bar. I was on a date, my homegirl, in a bar watching that fight. And when the fight broke out after the fight, the big brawl, oh my gosh, that was crazy. But that UFC, that Khabib and Conor fight was legendary. And again, in the first round, Conor did kind of decent stopping the takedown. All right? Conor did kind of well initially stopping the takedown. You know what I mean? Or defending the takedown. But it's Khabib we're talking about. UFC fighters need to be paid. For sure, yeah, because remember, UFC just signed a $7.7 billion deal with Paramount, right? Just double all the fighters' pay. That's it, period. I mean, just do that alone. The fighters be happy, you know? We won't ever see another Conor, his trash talking. Oh, yeah. Conor, I'm not gonna lie, man. Conor, love him or hate him. Conor definitely was, well, Chael Sonnen was the original trash talker. Actually, Tito Ortiz was back then. But you know what I'm saying? Chael Sonnen was also the GOAT of trash talking. And then Conor comes in, you know, so, you know, Kobe Covington tried to be a trash talker, but it was too too scripted with Kobe. Chael Sonnen was like the original boom, 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 trash talker. And Conor came in and it was just hilarious. Hilarious. You know? You know? But I think Chael Sonnen was the original trash talking GOAT. You know? Like Tito Ortiz back then kind of did it too, but Chael Sonnen, he made everything. I mean, he was the first one to cross the line. You know what I'm saying? Chael Sonnen was the first one to cross the line in his trash talk. You know? So yeah, so that's funny. But Conor right now is co-owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. If you get a chance, watch Conor be a promoter for Bare Knuckle. He's like, yeah. He like hyped up on something. Bare Knuckle had a fight last night. Mike Perry won again. Mike Perry is a tough dude, boy. My gosh. But Conor McGregor, when he talks about Bare Knuckle, he's like, yeah. You know, it's hilarious. But you said that it's been a minute that UFC told him to get. Well, Kobe Covington tried to do the trash talking, but it was just too scripted. It was just too like fake. You know, Chael Sonnen was more original. Conor was definitely original with the trash talking. He was trash talk. You can have back. Yes. My trash talk. Can have back in the UFC. And then the good fighter. The guy will come back. The grappling guy. Yeah, man. Yeah, you know, it's funny is that Conor McGregor, Kobe Covington, when you trash talk, it does get you eyeballs. You do get attention, because, I don't know. Facts. Diaz brothers had, oh no, I forgot about the Diaz brothers. Oh my gosh. I forgot about the Diaz brothers. Oh boy. By the way, I'm a big fan of both of them, Nate and Nick Diaz. I'm a big fan. I love when the trash talk. In the middle of the fight, they're trash talking. In the middle of the fight, they're trash talking, y'all. In the middle of the fight. That is just... The Stockton slap. This slap, look, chat, this is how gangster these brothers are. In the middle of the fight, they're slapping the guys. They're slapping them. That is... Yeah, you're right. Not the best fighters of all time, but damn. Legends in the game, Nate Diaz. I love watching him fight, man. I hope Nick is okay, because Nick Diaz these days looks like he has CTE. I'm not sure, but I hope Nick is okay. But man, Nick Diaz back in the prime, train by day. I think, yeah, Conor. He said Conor stole the treasure from the Diaz brothers. You know what's funny? Conor. Remember when Conor fought Nate Diaz, right? and Nate Diaz beat him the first time, and Nate says, "Oh, you're a wrestler now." Remember? That was a great line. That was a great line, because when they fought the first time, Nate Diaz and Conor, Nate was lighting him up, so Conor took him down, and then Nate Diaz goes, "Oh, you're a wrestler now?" That was classic. That was classic. You have to admit, chat, that was actually classic. That was classic. Oh, you're a wrestler now? Oh my gosh, it was. Oh yeah. Khabib, when he fought Conor McGregor, why he's hitting Conor McGregor? He says, "Let's talk now." Boom. "Let's talk now, Conor." Boom. That is gangster. While Khabib was fighting Conor, he was like, "Let's talk now." Boom. "Let's talk now." Boom. Give me a second. Yeah, he goes, "Let's talk now." Boom. Khabib was the man, man. Khabib was the man. Hey, how about this, y'all? How about Daniel Cormier? Is he one of the GOATs also? How about DC? Is DC one of the GOATs? Let me know. Nick was my favorite fighter. Yeah, Nick and Nate was I could watch Nick and Nate all day, man. I was a big fan of them. Big fan of them. And them boys bought it. Them boys, Nick and... They fought the same way. They talked the same way. DC is definitely fucking good. Thank you. DC is underrated, chat. DC is underrated. You know what I mean? First. Yeah, but I mean, John Jones, I mean, yes, he lost to John Jones many times. I get it. You're right. But come on, man. DC, remember, DC is, heavy. It's pretty heavy. You know? Oh, yeah. Great commentary. Yeah, DC, he's a heavy dude. He's not, physique-wise, he looks like a, fat guy, but he was very athletic. That's the thing. Joe Rogan passes me UFC on the, what you said now? Passes me on UFC, the great commentary team. What you said? Joe Rogan. Thank you. Me too. Thank you. Joe Rogan sometimes pisses me off too doing the commentary. I mean, it's, he's definitely, Joe Rogan is definitely one of the GOATs in commentary, period. But you're right, though. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think DC needs more love because at Strikeforce, DC destroyed guys at Strikeforce. Came to the UFC. Mind you, DC started fighting MMA like mid-30s, by the way. He started as a very old fighter. You know what I mean? So, but DC is definitely underrated. He fought remember, John Jones like 6'4", long arms. I mean, DC did well. DC embarrassed everyone except, exactly. He embarrassed everybody except, John Jones is a beast, man. John Jones, look, John Jones is a beast. What can I say about that? So my thing is, but DC is still, to me, one of the best heavyweights ever. He fought. See, that's the thing. So remember, he fought in 2 weight classes. Remember that. Light heavyweight and heavyweight. He was better at heavyweight because he's a big guy. So when he lost weight to fight at light heavyweight, he lost some power a little bit. If John Jones didn't exist, DC would be MMA. Yeah, you're right. It's just John Jones is just so gifted though, man. Jones is gifted. You never see a fighter. Yeah. Again, DC doesn't look the part, right? Kind of short for a heavyweight, chunky, whatever. DC don't look the part. But man, that guy was athletic. DC was a very athletic guy. Alex can get DC. Let's not forget, he developed good takedown. Now, good question, chat. Good question. A prime DC versus a prime Alex. You know what I'm saying? Alex now. Who wins? A prime DC versus Alex Pereira. Oh boy. I don't know. To be like a bowling ball. Yeah. Very, very athletic bowling ball, but yes, the guy who just beat Pereira is the only one that could. John Jones would have serious problem to beat. Yeah, man. So DC versus Alex Pereira. DC in his prime or Alex Pereira, So that one, I don't know. I don't know who will win. Both at 38, Alex. Wow, that's true, right? Yeah. Alex started doing MMA late also, right? DC destroys Alex because of his wrestling. You right about that, but DC is a short guy, so he has to get into the range first. And Alex is long, man. Alex is long. DC by destruction. That would be yes, I do admit, if DC actually gets his hands on Alex, yeah, Alex is going for a ride. But DC has to close the distance though. That's the thing, And remember, Alex trains with Glover Teixeira. Glover is very good on the ground, so Alex will be prepared for DC's takedowns. The Suragan stand a chance. No, I'm not okay. I'm gonna show some respect. Does they have a chance? Yes. Now, Tom is good everywhere. That's the problem. And I think Tom is going to take him down. I think Tom Aspinall is gonna take him down and beat him up or submit him. That's what I think going on. That's what I think. You know, does he have a chance? Yeah. You know, Misoagan is a big heavyweight that moves like a lightweight. Alex is not the same fighter that fought. Oh no. Alex is different level. Alex went levels notches higher. You know, DC Chase the distance against because of distance. He sure did though. Again, DC. If you look at DC does not look the part, but man, he is athletic and quick for a big guy. Remember when he fought Gustafson? He picked him up. Gustafson like 6'6", right? He picked him up and just left him like a little kid. You know, that is crazy, man. Gustafson like 6'6". Alex Gustafson, remember that fight? And DC just picked him up like a little kid and just boom. You know, it's crazy. DC has a good high quad singlet. Oh my God, his takedowns are legendary. You know, Alex ruined Izzy. He's just, you know, yeah. I hope Izzy bounces back, man. But you know, yeah, do the incredible boxing as well as train. Oh yeah. AKA is legendary. That gym over there. Oh my gosh, yes. But you're right though. You're right about that. The way it was done, it is crazy. You know, DC, AKA over there. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Don't forget Cain Velasquez too now. Back in the days now, Cain Velasquez in his prime, let's face it, was kind of almost unbeatable. Cain Velasquez, you know? Those are just facts. In fact, DC said the reason he fought at light heavyweight because he didn't want to fight Cain at heavyweight because, you know what I'm saying, they're boys, you know? So yeah, Cain was a beast, man. Cain was a beast. Yeah. Stop going to the body and yeah. You know, body shots are always underrated, man. You do a good body shot, I don't care how big a person is. You get a good liver shot, they're gonna go down, man. Cain versus DC. Oh my God. I'm sure in the sparring sessions, it was crazy sparring sessions. You know? Imagine if we had access to Cain and DC sparring. Imagine if we had video about that. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine how that would be? Prime Cain was absolute monster. Prime Cain was man. I don't know, man. Prime Cain, he could have been, you know, one of the GOATs mentioned, you know, but you know, his fighting career wasn't that long, right? His sparring session must have been. Oh yeah. Most gyms like that, especially high gym, you know, especially popular gyms like that, they don't allow video like that in sparring sessions. Cain, oh, give me a second, y'all. Yeah, man. They don't allow stuff like that in video sessions. Give me a second. Sorry about that, chat. I gotta plug my battery in. Yeah, so that's the thing, man. That's the thing. It's like, my thing is yeah. What you said now? I remember when Cain beat Brock Lesnar. Good. I'm glad Cain beat Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar was juiced up, man. Brock Lesnar's a cheater. You know, Brock is a cheater, man. So I'm glad Cain beat him, right? But yeah, man, that was a good fight. Also, Cain was the original, and Cain wasn't a huge heavyweight, also, right? Cain wasn't like a huge heavyweight. He was big, but not like, you know, Brock Lesnar was big, but you know, Brock Lesnar is a real wrestler, though. You know, Brock wrestled in college, so he, you know, Brock is a real wrestler. Not just a fake one. He's a real one. So remember, Brock beat Randy Couture. So was everyone then No, but Brock on the mic. Yeah, 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 yeah. Again, remember Brock came from Brock came from WWE, so of course he knows how to talk. You know, how about this, chat? Remember CM Punk tried to do MMA, and Mickey Gall destroyed him. Remember CM Punk tried to do MMA, in his first fight, Mickey Gall destroyed him. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Uberim. You know what? I like Alistair Overeem. He's small right now. That's crazy. Right now, he's small now. Oh, Trump, but yeah. He tried. He tried. CM Punk. He tried. But I mean, it was kind of, in my opinion, it was disrespectful because CM Punk came from fake wrestling, and he got to fight in the UFC, like co-main event, or like main card. It's like, come on. And I heard for his first fight, CM Punk got paid minimum $500,000 just to show. So I heard CM Punk got paid $500,000 for his first UFC fight. Mind you, that's unheard of, and he got destroyed. Again, he tried. I give him credit. He went in there, I give him credit for that. Okay, it's not easy going in the cage. It's not easy, but it wasn't fair though. He got paid $500,000. In chat, I'm gonna show you how it works. Okay, if you're new to the UFC, right? Usually you get paid $15,000 to show and $50,000 to win. $50,000 to show. So he got paid $500,000 off the riff. Again, $500,000 for a quick few minutes, and not bad, right? Now, I mean, again, I give him credit for going into the cage. Don't get me wrong, but UFC is no joke, man. UFC is no joke, man. Bellator is no joke. PFL is no joke. These fighters, excuse me. These fighters live for this stuff, man. Some got 7,000, yeah, 10,000 to start, yeah, So he came in with $500,000. It was a quick buck. It was he got destroyed. And for his first fight, they gave him a young grappler, a brown belt at the time. Mickey Gall at the time was a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. That was his first fight, and I'm like, this is not gonna go well for CM Punk. It's just not, because brown belts are damn good grapplers, right? Just so you know, purple, brown, and black level, jiu-jitsu guys are elite. Just so you know, even purple belts are elite. Don't get it twisted. And Mickey Gall came in as a brown belt, and I'm like, man, this is not gonna end well, and it didn't. It didn't end well. But you know what? And then he fought again. I think Randy Jackson. He fought. I think that fight went the distance, but sorry, it wasn't Randy Jackson. I forgot who CM Punk fought. CM Punk fought somebody else the second time, and also looked bad. He lost by decision, and I don't know facts, but I'm guessing he didn't train the other guys. Yeah, man, that's it. Thank you, Mickey. Look, people don't understand, man. People have no idea. Some people, that is. Jackson, right? Jackson. Montel Jackson. Oh yeah. Remember, he fought Jackson for the second fight. As bad as Jackson is, Jackson beat CM Punk easy. That's crazy, And Jackson is not a good fighter at all. So look, man, CM Punk tried it. At least you could say he fought MMA, right? At least he went there. He's a professional fighter, was. But he's lucky. He's lucky the UFC. Imagine if the UFC gave him a knockout artist for his first fight. Imagine if he fought somebody like Michael Venom Page for his first fight. Can you imagine? Imagine if CM Punk fought I don't know, name anybody in the welterweight division. You know, it's like, so UFC kind of get, I guess it was a good thing that for his first fight he fought a grappler instead of a striker, because if you fought somebody, striker, bro, would be. I know, right? Yeah, skull crack. I remember that fight against Cyborg. I remember that fight. MVP is when when MVP fought Cyborg, you could hear the skull crack. You could hear it crack. And thank God the referee stopped the fight before punches were thrown after the cracked skull. He probably would have killed Cyborg. No joke, no joke. Thank God the referee stopped the fight before Michael Venom Page went in. You know, Mike Jackson, I believe. Mike Jackson, right? Mike Jackson, yeah. Mike Jackson beat CM Punk easy, and Mike Jackson is not a good fighter. You know. So, yeah, Montel is a decent. Okay, not Montel Jackson. My bad. Mike Jackson. Mike Jackson. I got confused there for a minute. But the point I'm saying is that he made CM Punk look like a punk. But then Mike Jackson is not a good fighter. So my point is CM Punk does not belong to the UFC, man. Just not. You can't disrespect fighters like that. Like you said, all these real fighters trained for years, sweat for years, bled for years just to get to the UFC. And CM Punk just comes out of nowhere. Hey, y'all, I want to fight. Come on, man. My question is, what did CM Punk think was going to happen? Did he think he's going to fight for the belt one day? I mean, come on, man. You just can't learn UFC. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Yeah. What you said now? Most UFC fighters have a regular 9 to 5, which is crazy, right? Which is crazy, man. Because once you're a new fighter, your name got to be out there, right? You just don't go from WE to UFC unless, yeah. You know what? I'm glad you said that. Brock Lesnar actually wrestled for real. So yes, Brock Lesnar was a real wrestler in college and high school. So yes, when he did it, it made sense because he was a real wrestler. And if anything, if you have a good wrestling background, if anything, that's all you need at the beginning. CM Punk didn't wrestle in college or high school, I think. He had no training in any martial arts. And I'm sorry, I'm not knocking fake wrestling, but fake wrestling is not real fighting. It's just not. And I don't know why he was thinking, CM Punk, to think that he could just go to the UFC and just win fights. Are you crazy? I mean, man. Again, I give him credit for having the heart to go in there. I get it. But I hope he didn't think he was just going to walk in there and just beat everybody. Because that was not going to happen. No way. That was not going to happen. But he did it. I give him credit. Good job. Well, good job meaning good job stepping in there. But Brock Lesnar, though, definitely steroids. Definitely steroids. I mean, come on. But he had, remember Brock Lesnar fought Frank Mir the first time? And Frank Mir caught him in a ankle lock, I think it was. Quick. Oh, that was beautiful to watch. Quick story. One time years ago, I was in Vegas. I forgot, 2008 or 9, I think. I went to a strip club in Vegas, and Frank Mir was the bodyguard in there. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I forgot. I think it was 08 or 09. I was in Vegas. Oh no, it was 06, I think. I'm not sure. I was in Vegas, me and my boys. No. At a regular club, and Frank Mir was the bodyguard. Yeah. But Frank Mir jiu-jitsu is high level, man. And Frank Mir caught him in a was it a knee ball or ankle lock? I forgot. Remember how bad Frank Mir face was? Oh my gosh. Brock Lesnar destroyed his face. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah. Shane Carwin just hits hard. Shane Carwin was a heavy hitter, boy. For me, was a bone breaker. Oh no, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, man. Frank, some guys when they do, some guys who are great at submissions, some guys are just nasty with it. Frank Mir will break your arm and don't feel bad about it at all. Frank Mir will break arms and be like, okay, in jiu-jitsu, there's a saying, either tap or snap. Either tap or snap. Either tap out or pass out. All right? In jiu-jitsu, there's a saying, either tap or snap. And Frank Mir snapped a couple arms. Nagero, I think. Big Nog. And also Tim Sylvia. No. Yeah. Tim Silver. I don't know. You know? I don't know if it was Brock or Shane. No, Brock destroys Frank Miller's face because they fought a second time and Frank Miller had him up against the cage on the ground and just smashing him. You know? Bigfoot Silver, he trained down here. Bigfoot Silver used to train at America Top Team close to my house. 6'4", big guy. He was big. He wasn't the best fighter in the world by any means, but he was definitely scary. He was definitely scary. You know, he had a tumor in his pituitary gland. That's why he looks, that's why he looks, has a big head and big hands, because he had a tumor in his growth hormone area that made him, that made his head get big and stuff. I'm thinking Verdum. Very skilled jiu-jitsu guy too. Verdum was a very skilled jiu-jitsu guy, but I think he got popped for drugs too, right? I think Verdum got popped for drugs also, right? I think so. Yeah, man. A lot of these guys do that stuff for some reason, and I don't like that, man. Yeah, I think Verdun got popped for drugs. How about Shogun? Remember Shogun? Yeah, remember Shogun back in the days, right? Oh yeah, remember Shogun? War? Oh yeah, yes. When Verdun fought Fedor, yeah, that was triangle choke, right? That's a triangle, right? Yes, yeah. Machida, Wonderboy Thompson, those guys made karate deadly. Machida and Wonderboy Thompson, they made karate look deadly. It is so hard to fight somebody like that. MVP is more taekwondo, but still, it is hard to fight somebody like that. Karate. Look, karate. I'm gonna be honest, chat. I'm gonna be honest. At the beginning, years ago, I didn't think karate had a place in the UFC before Machida, before whatever. But man, after watching Lotto and Wonderboy Thompson and MVP, I'm like, yeah, karate, if done properly, is damn near unstoppable. Karate at that level, man, that's the real karate kid. Machida is the real karate kid. Literally, twice he did the crane kick. How about Vitor Belfort? Are you a fan of him? We all know he was juiced up most of his career. But are you a fan of Vitor Belfort? Because even though he was on steroids, he had fast hands, man. Crane kick. He did it twice. Machida, right? To Couture and to Vitor, right? I believe so. Silver did it the first time. It's funny. Anderson did it the first time to Vitor, and then Machida did it to Vitor and to Randy Couture. You know, the real life Karate Kid. That is that is that is amazing, Chad. That is amazing. But you know what? At the end of the day, at the end of the day, man, it's how about Vanderlei Silva, the axe murderer, over in in the Pride FC era. Vanderlei Silva was a scary man over there in Pride, a scary man. The axe murderer was coming to murder people in the ring. You know, what a name too. Man, we just didn't have these legends. I know, man. I know. I think about that all the time, man. I think about it all the time, and I'm like, those are legends in the game. I mean, time goes on. I get it. Time goes forward. I get it. But man, those guys were just legendary, man. Legendary. Who else? Who else is over there? Of course, Big Nog. Big Nog Nogueira. I'm gonna tell you something about Big Nog, man. And I'm not saying this to brag, whatever, but I trained with Big Nog before. Big Nog was one of my trainers early. This guy is a great coach, man. A great coach. A great coach. I mean, I used to spar with with his twin brother, Little Nog, believe it or not. Light sparring though, light sparring. But yeah, Big Nog back in the days also was crazy. Was just a elite fighter, man. Who else? Who else? Of course, Rampage Jackson. Hey, how about? Okay, I have a question for you, chat. Where do you rank Rampage Jackson? Is he up there in the GOAT status? At least at least in the Pride era. Where do you rank Rampage Jackson? Is he up there? You think? In the elite of the elite? Cause he did beat Chuck. He did beat Chuck Liddell at Chuck's prime. Yeah. What? Where do you rank a prime Rampage Jackson? He's great, but he's a goat because outside the cage, he is funny though. I ain't gonna lie though. He is funny though. He is a funny character. He is. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, it's like, how can you not love him, right? He was a dog still though. I mean, he was a dog though. When he fought, man, he fought like a dog. Like, but man, he is a funny dude though. I ain't gonna lie. So you have, yeah. So, okay, now, how do you feel about Tyron Woodley? Is Tyron Woodley up there in your GOAT status? I'm curious to see what y'all say about him. But that chain was legendary chain. That dog chain, that dog chain he wore was legendary. Oh, legendary. Robert Jackson was a character, man. I ain't gonna lie. It was fun watching him fight. So yeah, Tyron Woodley, is he one of the GOATs, UFC? No? You said no? I mean, What you said? Let me see. I didn't mean to sound real. Thank you, mate. Thank you, mate. Yeah, I need to watch him. I mean, Tyron Woodley, maybe he wasn't an exciting fighter for most people, but one of the GOATs, he did have the belt for a while. He did beat Thompson twice, Wonder Boy Thompson twice. He was a champion. Even though the fights were boring, he did beat Thompson twice. I mean, it was boring fights, but it is what it is. He knocked out Darren Till for the most part. I mean, not knocked out cold, but he TKO'd Darren Till, which Darren Till was supposed to win that fight because of the hype and blah blah blah. He destroyed him. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, man. No, I live MMA, man. I live and breathe MMA. Trust me, man. I'm a big MMA fan. That's why I love the sport so much. But yeah. Again, Tyron Woodley, When he fought, to me, one of the best knockouts was when he fought Josh Koscheck. That fight was, oh my gosh. Tyron Woodley to a right hand, stunned Josh. Josh was like in, stunned for a minute and then boom again. That was a beautiful knockout. Beautiful knockout. You seen it from the, yeah. I'm gonna tell you a story. Back in the, mind you, I am 52 years old. I'm 52 years old, right? And mind you, I started watching UFC in the 90s, of course. In the 90s. My boss at the time had a 6-hour tape on just UFC fights, and I watched all of them. Horace Gracie back in the days. I mean, and I fell in love. I fell in love with MMA back in the 90s. So I've been watching it, yeah, from the start, man, from day one. Because back in the days, it was like mostly no rules. Back in the days, you could headbutt. You could kick guys in the groin area back in the days. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. And for the Ultimate Fighting Show, for the first 20 seasons, I watched every season back to back to back. I love, MMA is a beautiful sport, man. So, but yeah, man. So, again, these days, man, I'm just so glad that MMA, UFC in general, grew this large. UFC is huge right now. UFC is definitely mainstream, prime time. UFC is definitely up there in the major sports, in major organizations. I just feel back. Bellator just got bought by what I'm saying, a PFL. You watch Tough still? I haven't. I stopped watching Tough because after the 22nd season, I pretty much stopped watching it. Not because I didn't like it, but because I don't know. I just stopped watching it. But but for the first 22 seasons, I watched it straight. Boom, 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 boom. Let me tell you, there was some legendary, episode. MMA seems to be dying low key, but Moab and Chama, yeah, MMA and that at all. And I think right now UFC or just MMA in general don't have that many big superstars. I think that's the problem. Let's face it. Hardcore fans like us love watching fights. But casual fans sometimes want to watch fights for names. Big names. So right now there isn't that much big names that's gonna draw you in. Conor McGregor not fighting anymore. Conor McGregor thinks he's gonna fight. Conor McGregor is not fighting anymore, so that's not gonna happen. So that's why Alex Pereira right now is a big name, but not as big as Conor's name was, or even John Jones' name. Nunes. What you said? Oh no, sorry. Name still got to be. Yeah. Stars in. Yeah, and sometimes there's two ways to make a name: being a badass, or just trash talking like a badass, right? Kobe Covington was a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, but his trash talking got him popular. Either you're a badass in the cage, or you're a decent fighter, but also can trash talk like a badass. So it's hard to be a star, man. But saying, tell my friend, look at your hopes, but that kind of doesn't show up. No. Conor was talking about fighting bare knuckle against Mike Perry last week. Conor is just talking, man. Conor not gonna fight anymore, man. Trust me on that one. His dead away. But Conor ain't gonna fight. Nah, man. Conor is a co-owner of a bare knuckle fighting. Okay, he was just saying how he's gonna fight a champion out of Mike Perry and Jeremy Stevens. Last week he was saying that. So Conor not gonna fight, man. He's too rich. He's too coked up, and he's a big dude now. A big dude, big meaning that he's a heavier guy. So if he fights, it's gonna be like a 180 or something, which is a crazy weight class for him. Trust me on that one. Bro, you say so many ones. Yeah, man. Yes, he needs to shut the fuck up for real. Because look, right now, Conor McGregor, again, I will give him credit. Conor McGregor was exciting to watch. I'm not gonna lie, he was exciting to watch. He was funny. He did back it up though. I was, again, I'm not the biggest Conor fan in the world, as far as, as far as off the courts, as far as off the field stuff. But I would say one thing though, Conor, he did back up his talk though. When he fought in UFC, he did back it up. He talked a lot and backed it up. When he knocked out Jose Aldo, oh, by the way, Jose Aldo, is he one of your goats too? But when Conor McGregor fought Jose Aldo and knocked him out, I was stunned. I was stunned, chat, stunned, because I'm a big Jose Aldo fan. Show the chat your photo of Dana White. My card. Yeah. I tried it for the UFC reality show back in 2006, I think it was. And yes, I met Dana White. I fought in front of Dana White. I'm gonna show the video right. I'm gonna show the picture right now. But yeah, what's crazy was that season 5. I tried out for season 5. That's the season Nate Diaz was in. So chat, there's a chance that I could have been on Nate Diaz's team or under or opposite his team. Can you imagine if I ended up fighting? This is me right here and Horace Gracie. This is Horace Gracie, chat. That's me, and that's Horace Gracie. I got into jiu-jitsu because of Horace Gracie. I got into MMA because of Horace Gracie. Horace Gracie was the reason I started doing MMA and jiu-jitsu. Right? So yes, I had a chance to train with the legendary, man, that was so awesome. So awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna show you the picture of me and Dana White at the tryouts. Give me 1 second. But yeah, man. But yeah, so this is me right here and Dana White. So this is me at the tryouts for season 5. All right, season 5 tryouts. The reshape. Yeah. Yeah, man. So yeah, so this was in 06, I think it was. UFC season 5 tryouts was in Hollywood, Florida. I was there all day, and you had to grapple in front of Dana White and also strike in front of him. And I won my grappling match. It was Dana White, all the producers were there on Spike TV, and yeah. So then after the fight, that's me taking a picture with him. And let me tell you, Dana White was cool. Dana White was actually cool. I don't know how he. I mean, I'm not a. Dana White to me is pretty cool. Wait, give me a second. Oh, give me a second, chat. Yeah, sorry about that. It's getting dark over here. Sorry about that, chat. It's getting kind of dark. But yeah, I have to go to the light. But yeah, chat. So, here we go. So yeah, he's still a scumbag, but I know, right? Yeah, he's still, Dana White, it's like, I guess mixed feelings about it, right? Because he brought the UFC to a high place, but then he is a little shady sometimes, right? So that's what you're saying. It doesn't care about. Yeah, Dana White now wants to do boxing. Dana White now wants to promote boxing now. He teamed up with Turkey, Saudi Arabian guy, and he's getting rid of. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't like that. Dana White wants to get rid of the Ali Act. That is not cool, man. That is not cool. How you gonna do that to those fighters? It's like Dana White is trying to do. Give me a second, y'all. Yeah. Give me a second. Yeah, man. Dana White is trying to get rid of the Ali Act, which is not cool, man. The Ali Act is basically the best way to say it is that in boxing, if you're a champion for you could go fight in other you know companies, you could say, right? But in UFC you can't do that. UFC, if you're a champion, you gotta fight in UFC. Well, I think the Ali Act, part of it is that you can, you know what I'm saying. Part of that is you could go fight somewhere else even though you're champion. That's one part of the Ali Act. So it's basically it helps the boxers a lot, and it's been like that for a while. And Dana White wants to go in and get rid of that. Yes, it protects the fighters, because at the end of the day, look, at the end of the day, as good as Dana White is a promoter, as good as Eddie Hearn is a promoter, whatever, I get it. At the end of the day, the fighters have to be protected, because the fighters are at the end of the day, the fighters are the one going out there and putting their life on the line, right? So we gotta make sure that the fighters are taken care of, all right? We just have to. And Dana White wants to go in and take the Ali Act out, which is crazy to me. It's like, come on, man. How much money does he want? Dana White, how much fame and money does he want at this point? It's like, come on, man. It's like, he already was. Dana White is Dana White is super rich already. Super rich, super successful. I think Dana has to be. You think so? Yeah, maybe he is a puppet, because there's always somebody behind the scenes, right? There's always somebody behind the scenes pulling the strings. So I think you could be right. I think maybe he is a puppet, and maybe he's just a face, and and Dana White, he'll do whatever, Dana White will say whatever and do whatever. But it's all good though. But it's all good. Give me a second. Chat. Give me a second. But yeah, man. I guess that's what. I know, right? I know. That's another thing too, boy. Yeah, UFC. Right now, the UFC definitely stays off the topic. Stays off the topic of fighting. Yeah. UFC is kind of weird. Weird right now. But for me, I care about the fighters. I want the fighters to be taken care of. I don't care if it's boxing, MMA. To me, it's all about the fighters, man, because the fighters put their life on the line, and I think the fighters should be protected at all times. Should get paid good money. But these people, judges. Oh yeah. Yeah, judges are, especially in boxing. The judges are bad, man. Remember, at that level, yeah, mafia involved. Yeah, fighting at a high, UFC, top boxers, whatever. It's so high up that mafia has to get involved, making bets and then doing it on. Maybe judges do their own bets, right? I don't think fighters are throwing the fights. I think the judges are just I don't know. That's why they say in a fight, you gotta knock him out or submission. Don't leave it to the judges. They always say in a fight you gotta knock him out. Don't leave it to the judges. Because if you do, you're gonna get burned. You know what I mean? Definitely paid to make moves. Oh yeah, I think so too. But so chat, man. Thanks for joining me. I gotta run right quick. All right. Thank you for our support. I appreciate y'all. And check me out. So please check me out next time. Okay. I am out. It was awesome talking to y'all. Thanks for the love. I'll see y'all next time. Okay, chat. Peace.